Hey everybody, it's G from Beauty and the Bitch, and today you're about to watch my tutorial, my first YouTube tutorial. The no makeup that I talked about in the Hard Candy Just Face It review. This is the Hard Candy Just Face It, and I'm going to show you how to take this and make it look like you're fantastic with no makeup on. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first step that you need to do is apply a really good moisturizer. I'm going to use the Aveeno Ultra Calming. This is the one that reduces redness and it also has SPF 15. I wrote a review about this on the blog. Check it out. I love this. I've already moisturized, but I'm going to do it again because if you don't, the foundation that we're using will settle into any dry patches. And the point of this is to look natural, so looking cakey is obviously the complete opposite of that. So now that I have my moisturizer on, the first thing I'm going to do is apply my foundation. This is the Hard Candy Just Face It, like we did in the review video, and this is the look I was actually talking about in that video. One pump. This is a Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki Dual Fiber Brush. I start at my cheeks because that's where I have the most redness. I like to go in buffing motions because I feel like it's way better than the stippling motion. It looks more natural to me, and it has like just a more seamless effect. I'm going to go over the eyelids. I'm going to go around the nose area. And then, again, redness of the cheek. And under the eyelid. Just buff it out really good. So that there's no lines, no uneven areas. I'm just going to take a little bit more because I'm still a little red on one side. And I just put it on the back of my hand. You can put it, I saw a review that said that it was better if you put it straight to the brush, but I've had no problem putting it to the back of my hand. I feel like if you work quickly enough, it's just fine. So after I have my foundation all perfect, I'm just going to check in the mirror real quick. To go. I'm going to take my concealer. I like to use the Maybelline Dream Mousse concealer. I've been using it for a while. This is like my second or third time purchasing it. It's just, it really blends into my skin and I like it, and it kind of just disappears but still does what it has to do. So I'm going to cover I'm going to cover Steve. You know, my friend Steve, my pimple. He also has two new friends, Bill and Ted. I've been stressing a lot lately, so just gonna cover those guys right there, lightly. And then I'm gonna cover the little slight discoloration under my eyes from not sleeping and shopping all night. Now, like I mentioned in the review video, I feel like this works better with this foundation if you don't set it all the way, because it tends to look a little bit, it just does like this it oxidizes more, like, you know, changes color, and it spreads and gets patchy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the key areas. So under my eyelids where I applied the concealer, and this is just a translucent setting powder. No color added, nothing like that. Over my eyelids so that it sets that foundation that I applied there, so that I can go ahead and build on it. And my forehead where I covered Steve and Bill and Ted. And I'm going to leave my cheeks open so that a little bit of my natural redness does come through, just a little bit, make me look more, you know, rosy. And behind the nose and all that. Okay. So my next step are the eyelids. Really easy. All I'm going to do is take, this is an e.l.f. primer in Champagne. Yeah. And I'm just going to throw it on my lids. All the way to the brow bone. Oops. All the way to the brow bone, and blend it out with my finger here. And it's just a really subtle shimmer. Gives something a little extra. to the look, because the whole point of this look for me is to look natural but still be slightly glowy, you know, still have that little look at me type effect. So let's put that primer on. Blend, blend, blend. This is the easiest look you'll ever do, I swear. Okay. Now, all I'm gonna do on top of that is take my favorite. This is the e.l.f. bronze. This is the e.l.f. bronzer in Sunkissed, and as you can see, I hit pan and I lost my top. Well, I have it somewhere, but I completely destroyed this. So, but I got another one, so I'm excited about that. So I'm gonna take this and I'm going to sweep it across the lids, and I know this is a blush brush, but I'm also going to highlight with it, and since I want it to be really just dispersed, like I don't want it to look like eyeshadow, I'm just going to go right across. Besides, I don't believe in rules. You use your tools for whatever you think they best work for. So, and then just right up here on my cheekbone. So the next step is optional. I'm going to do it because I like to define my lash line. But I'm going to take a brown liner. This is one of the e.l.f. ones that came in one of the palettes. And I'm just going to close my eyelid and just smudge it into my, like, try to get it in between the lashes type thing. And then I'm just going to take a smudging brush, which I have right here, and smudge that out. So it doesn't look like, you know, I really have eyeliner on or anything. I'm not winging it, I'm just trying to get it between my lashes to create the illusion of a thicker lash line. Next thing I'm going to do is also go underneath. This is also optional, but I like a little drama even if I'm going natural. And again, it's just creating the illusion of a thicker lash line because there isn't too much going on in the eye area, so a little eyeliner doesn't hurt, and it's brown and it's subtle and it just gives good dimension. So, but again, it's up to you. You don't have to do this. It looks beautiful without it. Okay. So the next step would be mascara. Now, this is just Smashbox /DNA. I use black. I mean, you could use brown. It would be more natural, but I have black hair, and honestly, I feel like if you do it right, it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to go to the base, wiggle out, try to get them as separate as possible. I don't want to go OD with it because I don't want it to look like I'm wearing a ton of eye makeup. And I feel like sometimes if you put too much mascara, you look like you're wearing like a ridiculous amount of makeup. So, and that would again be the opposite of this tutorial. So now that I have that on, you can see all I'm gonna do is take a spoolie and comb them out. To make sure that they're all separate and that there's no clumps. Okay, next up would be brows. Now, I am notorious for filling in my brows for everything. I mean, I'll fill in my brows and go to the laundry. Like, I love to fill in my brows. However, I am not really going to fill in my brows too much. All I'm going to do is take a tiny little flat liner brush like this. I'm going to grab This is just a really, really light dusty brown shadow, and normally I do it with a dark brown, but I'm trying to look more natural, and I'm just gonna slightly extend. I do use an angled brush as well, but I like the flat brush because I feel like I get straighter lines. And I know you're like, why would you need straight lines with your eyebrows if your eyebrows are curved? But for me, when I do things in straight lines, it just works better. Like, I like to do things, I'll do them in sections in straight lines, because I have arches and I like to just define them a little bit. Okay. Take my spoolie, brush that through. And then, last but not least, for the eye area, this is just lash brow gel. It's an e.l.f. one. Sometimes I use, well, I'll show you that in a different video, but I have many tricks, and I've used regular, like, hair gel and hairspray and just all types of things to keep them straight and on point. But clear brow gel, easy to come by. This is e.l.f., so obviously it was really cheap. It was $1. And just, I like to brush them up and down. Okay, and my last step, this is also optional. You can throw on some lip balm and you'll look all natural and pretty, but I like a little gloss on the lips, so I'm just gonna grab a lip gloss. This is just this is also an e.l.f. one. We're really trying to use the e.l.f. products that we got so that we can show you that you can do things with them. So this is just the e.l.f. Hyper Shine Gloss in 10601. Yeah. So it's one of these little twist up brush thingy applicators. And it's coming. Am I twisting the wrong way? No, it's coming. Okay. I'm just gonna... And there you have it. A very simple, very easy, and really quick, natural, no makeup, beautiful, glowy look. All with drugstore and, you know, like, cheap, inexpensive products. And this does last all day because I put my makeup to the test. So, as always, just giving you a good look. I'm G. This is Beauty and the Bitch. And remember, beauty is a bitch. And if you feel something about it, bitch about it. Have a nice day.